and just waiting to see if anybody comes on. I'm not going to be on here too long today. Hope everyone's well, doing okay. No sound? God. Uh, you still can't hear me? Me. Hi, Vanessa. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Thank you, Pauline. Oh, you're going to purchase artwork. Well, I appreciate that. I cannot wait to send you something sweet. I appreciate your support. This video, I don't want to, I cannot be on here long, but I wanted to jump on here because I just got finished talking to a client, and she recently got a position at the CDC in Atlanta, of all places, right? And she immediately contacted me because she's doing research, stats and research now at the CDC, and she said it was really an eye-opening experience for her to read through some of the data that she's doing for the research as far as sexually transmitted diseases and things like that. And she said going through the data, she was reminded of all the things that I talk about as far as being cautious when you're engaging in lovemaking. Sorry, guys, this connection is, I don't know about it, but as I was saying, she said as she goes along in her research, she would have numbers because I'm interested in knowing what she has asked her. What was so far the most eye-opening thing she's read so far from the CDC in terms of sexually transmitted diseases and just different things that she wasn't aware of herself. And she said the amount of male on male relationships, male on male sexual relationships, really shocked her. That there was so many cases of that, and what shocked her even more was the number of women who knew that their men dated, had sex with other men, and tolerated. She said those numbers are high as well. There are a lot of women that know their men are having sex with other men, and they don't. I don't know if they don't care. You know, it's not an issue. They're still having relationships with men who they know are sleeping with other men. And she said she was just totally shocked by the stats with that. She said overall, but what she's reading so far is that the rates for all these sexually transmitted diseases has nothing to do with drug use. You know, drug use is not a big factor in it. It's simply deceit and promiscuity. There really is no other factors. Just people sleeping with people, and they don't care who they're infecting. They're not letting people know their status. They're double dipping. They're living double lives. Women are co-signing on this. They're infecting on, children, and, there's casualties in this thing. So she was like, she was just shocked by the whole thing. She whole what she's been reading so far, and she said like she's done with sex. I thought I helped her now that she sees the stats in black and white, you know, it has the fun associated with intimacy is now for her. And I told you these things. I coach women. I have women who are newly infected, not with HIV, but with other transmitted diseases. And you know something? They all tell me that when they tell men their status, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna step outside here, maybe a little bit higher elevation. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Yeah, she was surprised at how many women knew that their men liked other men and they didn't care. I think that was one of her biggest aha moments, if anything, was that there's a lot of deceit, there's a lot of deception, and then there's a lot of co-signing. I tell all you guys to be cautious because, you know, I'm anti-fun. Contracting a disease is not fun. Sleeping with a man who doesn't really want you, doesn't really respect you, doesn't care about you is not fun. That's the thing. And there's a lot of that going around. A lot of that going around. Listen, society, for the most part, how we live out here for the most part, it's a zoo. It's a zoo, a literal zoo out here. And you're taking chances with your body for no reason other than pleasure. If you're considering having sex and the only consideration that you are taking is whether you're going to enjoy it or not, you are a fool. You are acting foolish. You're acting foolish. Lady B said, wasn't society always like this? Always like what? Always like what? Ron, you say your body has the ability to cure itself with herbal medicines like olive leaf extract, oils, and oil of oregano. So, Ron, what you're saying to me is that you would have sex with a woman who you know had HIV, gonorrhea, syphilis, full-blown AIDS, because you have faith in your olive leaf extract? Is that what you're saying? Have you cured yourself from any sexually transmitted diseases with olive leaf extract before? I'd like to know. Silky Slim, at least we should get security, money, commitment, just a thrill? No way. No, it is not worth it. There's a lot of double dipping going on out here, and because of the way society is going, and there's such a blend in sexual orientation now, anybody can identify with anything or don't identify with anything that they do. You could say you're not this even though you do it. That's the warped craziness of you know, the times that we're living in now. But what was it? Fluidity, sexual fluidity nonsense, where you can have sex with a man and claim that you're not gay, or that you know, or that even you're straight. They have men that have sex with other men that claim that they're heterosexual because they only have sex with men maybe once a year or once every 6 months or every now and then. Can you imagine that? But this is how it is now. This is how it is now. So, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's okay to be sexually attracted to people and admire the beauty of people and leave it at that. It doesn't have to go any further. You don't have to complete anything. You can just admire somebody and let that be that. You must have self-control now. You must have self-control now. Now more than ever, in every aspect of you. Vanessa says a lot of men are down low. Yes, according to her, I'm waiting for her to give me the actual numbers on that. But she said that she was frightened by what she's been reading so far about. She didn't realize it was that many men who have an appetite for other men. And I said before that a lot of us, who get mistreated by men, you have to analyze it because a lot of times these men are hostile because they don't really want you because they really want men. They really want men too. So there's really nothing you can do to please them because you're not even biologically what they want. And that's a lot. That's a lot of us. That's a lot of us. Red Wings, when I get the stats, when she gives it to me, I'm going to relay it to you. I just literally got off the horn with her, and she was just a little thrown off and scared. She was scared because of things that she's doing. She was scared. So she just contacted me and let me know, what she's finding out. Rita says you may make me never want to have sex again. Um, that's a good start. I think you got to go to the extreme and then work your way back to balance. You have to literally go to the other end of the spectrum on this thing because everything is about sex. Even by sex. You look at all these social media platforms and average looking women are showing their butts and their breasts and their crotches. Instagram models, quote unquote, people that we got working girls, so-called models who are really prostitutes on a lot of these platforms that they're really making money, soliciting favors, but under the guise of actress model kind of thing. That is what's going on out here, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So everywhere you look, you're encouraged to just do what you want. Do what you want with whomever you want for as much as you want, and then you think about the consequences later. Later. Amen says people have fetishes. Yeah, they do. They do. Julian says, if I see a sister on the street, I will admire her beauty and I'll keep it moving. Yeah, that's the best thing because I'm telling you, a lot of these beautiful women have frothing uh, secretions coming out of their crotches. They're frothing literally in between their legs, but they look good. And the problem is men will disregard smells. They will disregard cleanliness. They'll disregard morals and character. They don't care. As long as the hole is lubricated, men will take a chance on their lives. As long as the hole is available and lubricated. That's the truth. And that's why we're in the mess that we're in. So, if you're approached and you're solicited for sex, and and any guy that's in your space is sexually aggressive, you need to raise an eyebrow on that. You need to raise an eyebrow on him immediately. You need to flag him immediately. Like, bruh, in order for me to even text you, I'm going to need blood work on you. I'm going to need us to go down to some sort of clinic and run some labs to know who I'm talking to. Because you're a little too thirsty and you're a little too anxious. It is a zoo out here. Literally. Literally. Be careful. I'm not saying you don't live your life in fear. But maybe you should be fearful. I think some of us are not fearful enough. I think some of us are not scared enough. Thank you, Natural Charm. I love you too. I really think some of us need a good dose of fear so that we don't become a statistic. You do not want to become a statistic from a one night stand, from a one-off relationship, from a 3-month escapade. You don't want to ruin the rest of your life on that. Calculated risk. Everything is a risk, right? But you want to take calculated risks, which only means that everything you do, the odds of success, the odds of getting what you want are in your favor. Do you understand me? 50-50 is not worth the risk. 40-60, you taking a chance, a 40% chance that he will be your boyfriend or your husband or take care of you or whatever, that's not worth the risk. It's not. Julian says, I'm coming from the store at nighttime and this thick sister started dancing on me and I pulled her away from me. Where do you live, Julian? Where do you live? A lot of people are playing games in their minds. Yeah, a lot of us are playing games in our own minds, and we want to learn how to control people. Because when you're looking for knowledge on how to make somebody fall in love with you, you're looking for knowledge on how to control someone. And because what it is you want them to do and be for you, they don't have the natural inkling to do that. So you're looking for ways to encourage and manipulate that. And the energy that you're spending on that, you need to redirect it inward. You need to have discipline. You need to have your own convictions intact. You need to stop worrying about how to make somebody do anything for you and do what you need to do for yourself. This is how you're going to survive. This is how you're going to survive this zoo that we call a society out here now. Lady B says, I mean, you teach this though. It is a game out here, or that you're going to lose. Yeah, and it needs to be repeated because we forget. Our attention spans are so short. Our memories are so short. You forget what I said tomorrow. You forget what I said later on this evening. When you get a call from a guy that you like, you're going to forget all the cautions that I'm telling you about because he's gratifying you by giving you attention. He's gratifying you because he looks good and he seems like he's interested in you. He's making you feel like you have value. So everything that I'm telling you about being cautious is going to go out the window. So what I'm doing, I'm helping to facilitate a spell over you. Like literally. A spell is nothing but repetition. You have to put a spell on yourself. You want to change yourself, you have to constantly beat certain things so that you can start resonating with it. It's not a one-off thing. You think the devil takes a vacation? Talk. I'm tired this weekend. I'm not do drugs. The devil takes no. You have to follow suit. With me, I'm thankful I have a perception of what is valuable. Pain, men who are good are considered boring. And the reason why that is, Michael, a lot of women have been traumatized. A lot of women have been abused. So what they see as synonymous with a relationship has to come with a certain level of conflict and abuse for them to recognize it as a relationship and to recognize it as love. That's why most women that you will meet have been abused, mistreated, lied to, manipulated. So some women are broken emotionally. So this is why when something good and non-drama comes along, it's like, what do you do with that? It's what you're not gonna fight with me. What do we have here? Then there's no passion. Then you don't love me. That's the problem with a lot of us. Ron says women work in medical fields to this Ron. Positive advice. Yeah. Yeah, my reception elevated and the reception is totally whack. I'm sorry about that. So sorry about it, you guys. I'm gonna have to maybe end this live now because I can't keep a signal worth a damn out here. But I just really wanted to come on here and share a little bit of that conversation that I had with the girl, because she had an aha over the aha that, and she was like, you were right, Selkis. Everything you were saying about sex, I just can't believe, I'm seeing the stats, I'm seeing the numbers now, and I'm like, I don't want to have sex anymore. Some of us need data, I guess. We don't believe. We don't believe. What is a HIPAA violation? Well, yeah, if you tell people's personal medical stuff, I believe that's grounds for jail. Monique says, I'm not going to be good to a boring guy just because he's nice if he hasn't earned my value yet. I'm not going to be good to a boring guy just because he's nice if he hasn't earned my value yet. I'm not sure if you are against a boring guy or just against being devalued. What do you mean by boring, Monique? We have to be careful with the excitement that we're looking for. A lot of us require people to be exciting because we are boring. You know that, Monique? When you are an exciting person, you can excite people. When you are bored with yourself, you tend to look at everything as you're just bored. And you think other people are boring too, but you're bored. You are boring. You are boring. You have to learn to entertain yourself. Want data, so they bring up HIPAA every time someone is trying to warn us about HIV. That's really suspicious. Listen, I want the stats. I want the stats. I mean, these are things that I'm sure if you go to the CDC website and do a little digging, they will post. You'll find information that, on numbers there. How often they update You know, if it's every 10 years span or something, make is actual that fake reassurance. The reason reassurance and so much backup and so much data is because we're unsure. You just you're unsure. You're not strong enough. You're not strong enough in your convictions. So you need another reason. You have all the reasons you need, but you need another reason. You know? LJ said most of the information presented on government websites are inflated numbers of information. Be careful what you believe. It doesn't matter if it's inflated or not, LJ. Everyone's life is evidence. Every one of you on this live, listening to me, your life is all the evidence that you need. So whether a number is inflated, convoluted, trumped up, you know, based on bias or whatever, and it could be all of that. And I've said that before. What is a fact is what you've gone through already. All the wisdom you need is in every experience you've ever had. If you obey your own knowledge, you can a lot more further damage or further mistakes if you just respect what you know. That's the truth. We don't respect what we know. That's why we need more information. Selkis, but he's right. Who's right? Who's right about what? See, that's why as an engineer I had the search hard for a black woman who could be okay with that. Bull, sadly, good men don't play games. Hey, good men don't play games. Well, like I said, Michael, a lot of women are wounded. They look attractive. They smell good. Maybe they go to the gym. Maybe they have great jobs. And they're emotionally wounded. And they can't recognize anything that doesn't come with pain attached to it. That's why being good is considered boring. That's why. That's exactly why. We got to think about these things. Awakening Goddess says, I don't believe men are faithful. Well, I have my thoughts on that. I think that a lot of us are not the woman of that man's dreams. We are not the embodiment of perfection for the men that we have relationships with, right? A lot of us are flawed. So that means that a lot of men are settling. And I feel like if you suspect that you are not his type and that you're really, really not what he would consider ideal, but you're with him and he cares about you. I mean, this is real life. You can be with somebody you're not attracted to and still care about him. But if you suspect that you are not the woman of his dreams, then I think you should prepare for some sort of indiscretion. For indiscretion. If you are imperfect, if you are flawed, if something's wrong with your body and you know it, talk to me. Let's keep it honest. If you know there's something wrong with you, then chances are the person that you're with may want to supplement what they have with you with someone else. Hard pill, but it's real. Thank you when boredom sets in. Thank you. So that's what that is. So when we say that all men cheat, there is truth to that. There is truth to that, because a lot of us are walking around here looking for unconditional love when we're not close to what they ideally want. We're not close to it. That's right, Tania, placeholders. A lot of us are placeholders, and I said this before. You can be a married woman that's a placeholder. It's not just girlfriends or, partners for sex that are placeholders. You could be married to the man and still be a placeholder. This is the cold, hard truth. This is the black pill. You heard the pink pill, the red pill, the blue pill. This is the black pill. So you prepare for that. You understand that you are not perfect. There's certain things that you can't do for him that he wants. Then you prepare for that. You prepare in your mind for that. That's what I say. That's what I say to that. And it's a disgusting thought. I hate to even say it, but this is real. This is real. Michael said, Ron said, thank you, Jesus. I mean, Selkis. Michael says, I know married men still looking. Of course. We're keeping it 100, as they say. Of course they are. There are plenty. Most married men are still looking. Most married men are dissatisfied and tired of having sex with their wives. Most of them. And you could even be pretty, right? You could even be pretty. You can even have a nice body. And he get tired of you. So there's different factors there. He could either be tired of you physically, tired of your mentality. That's why it's important to recycle yourself and reinvent yourself ever so often, just to remain fresh. Just to remain fresh. You should be learning something new all the time. You should be trying something new all of the time to maintain interest and wonder. And it's like, what else can you do? Like, are you fascinated? I said in the last live, are you fascinated with yourself? I can literally say that I'm fascinated with myself. Because there's all kinds of things that I do, that I'm into. I'm multifaceted. I'm very creative. Very creative. I like my mind. I'm fascinated with how I think. Like, when I say things to people, I'm listening, like, in my own consciousness, like, wow, that was deep. To my own self. How many of you can say that? How many of you can say that? We live boring lives. We live repetitious lives. You go to work, you have lunch, you come home, you watch the TV, and on the weekends you drink, maybe you smoke weed, and then Monday comes and you recycle it all over again. All over again. This is most people. And then to top it off, you may be on a job that you hate. So that makes you even more of a bore. Can you imagine? You're at a job that you work Monday through Friday every day for the past maybe 5 or 10 years that you do not want to be in. How dynamic could you be? How exciting could you be as a person doing that every day for 5 or 10 years? And do you know how many people are doing that? Do you know? When Boredom Hits says, I know I need a woman into video games, big booty and breasts, don't matter when you 100 and all you have is personality, I'm holding out. Do that. Do that when boredom hits. Hold out for your big booty and your big booty breasted woman who likes video games. You hold out for that. And I hope you're not screwing any woman who doesn't have a big booty and breasts and don't like video games. Don't victimize her. But this is what you men do. This is what you will do. You will have sex with women whose behinds are not as big as you would like, whose breasts are not what you're looking for, who are totally disinterested in those video games. You will make her think that you're interested in her. You will pretend that you're going to be in some kind of committed relationship with her. You will screw her brains out while you're looking for the big booty girl. This is what we do. This is what we do. You said not. All right, you guys. All right, peace and love.